Hey everybody, Mike here, Baseball Collector, and tonight's going to be a little bit different video than what I normally do. I don't have any mail today, I don't have any cards to show off, but this is going to be part one of this project that my dad and I are working on in building a custom storage case for my PSA slabs. And so what I'm going to do tonight is show you some clips from the shop. Sometimes we've been working in the shop, show you kind of what we've been doing, and then I'm going to come back at the end and show you kind of where we're at and show you a prototype of a drawer and what it looks like. But first, for anybody wanting to do a project like this, I'm just going to kind of go through some of the steps that we took so you can kind of know where we've been. We started first with, all right, what do we want to store? What do I want to store? And my dad's just really been just a amazingly helpful. That won't work, that will work. Have you thought about this? He helps me really troubleshoot what could be wrong with my thoughts, because I have an idea of what it is, and my dad's the master woodworker, so I'm just thinking, oh, you can do anything you want, and that's kind of true, but kind of not. So, what did I want to store? Well, I have small slabs like this, and then I have the larger slabs that I need to store in a way that looks nice. I wanted something that could be an heirloom piece for me, and that could be kind of multifunctional if that can last a long time. So that was where I started from. Then I thought, all right, how big do I want it? What space am I going to put it in? And so it's going to go in my card room, which I will show you all of that at the end when I'm done. I'll do another card room video once I get this piece in. So what space? So we kind of had that. So we made a rough design of what we wanted it to be, how big, how it would look. Could we make the width wide enough to have an even number or a certain number of drawers, and all those kind of things. So we troubleshooted through that process, which was great. Then we created a design, which I've shown you guys in a previous video. I showed you kind of the rough sketch design of what we're doing. And then it's like, what materials do you want to use? Do you want to use hardwood or plywood or what? And for me, I wanted it to be nice. So the front, the sides, the top are all going to be in walnut. And then you got to decide on handles, and there's all these decisions to be made, which I'm excited to make them, but that's the process that we went through. So everything's walnut that you can see, and then each drawer I'll talk about in a little bit when I show you kind of the prototype drawer that I finished and brought home, that we finished today and brought home. We'll talk about those materials and how it's going to function and look. So with that being said, here's the first couple of clips of my dad and I working on this, and I'll come back and talk in a little bit. Thanks. Hey everybody, this is Mike here, Baseball Collector, and we are on day one of fabrication of the new PSA case. And this is my dad, Palmer. Say hi, Dad.
Hey, Mike, how are you? Hello, all the baseball card collectors.
That's who's going to be watching this. So this is my dad's shop that has been around since about as long as I've been around. And I spent many a day in here hanging out with my dad.
Getting paddled back here.
I got whooped back here. We'd make my paddle, and then we'd burn them in this little fire belly stove over here after we got done. So you can see pretty much anything we need to make my case we're gonna do here. So there's my pops and all the stuff. So we're gonna start with some walnut over here.
Yeah.
Come over this way. So that's the walnut we bought the other day that I told you about.
Mike spent $700 on this wood right here. There's 11 pieces that are between 11 and 12 feet long.
So that's gonna be what we make most of the carcass out of, so to speak.
And the fronts of the drawers are going to be walnut as well.
Yep.
And we're going to try today to pick the pretty grain, the stuff that'll be the most gorgeous on the very front, and keep those pieces registered so that they'll still make the grain happen in the front of the cabinet.
Yep, so we're going to glue up some panels today, maybe make a prototype drawer, some different things that we're going to work on. So
the drawer sides are going to be Baltic birch.
Yep.
And right now we're determining right down to the smallest dimension what size we need to have this so that we can do it very
accurately
and without throwing away a lot of room.
Yep. So that's the intro, and we'll get started here, and we'll check in with you later. All right, so we've cut most of our boards to length. Now we're doing a process with a joiner of straightening one straight side on one of the boards. It's going to be the drawer front, the top, the sides, and the back of the cabinet. Now it's been joined. When you take a board like this one, we're going to rip it out on a table saw, cut out the imperfections in the wood. So we have nice clean boards that we're using. Man. That's going to be a door front, or a side, or something. Here comes another one. You having fun, Dad?
Yeah.
Shop work is loud work. And there you go. We'll show you more later. Okay, so my dad and I are working on the drawers right now for the case, and we've got all the pieces cut out, and that took a while. So what we're working on right now are the dovetail joints that are going to be on each drawer. And so we've made this is a test drawer, kind of a mock-up prototype that we're doing, and just kind of seeing if everything works and if all the cuts look good. And so we've got a couple extra pieces. All the actual drawer pieces are over here. They're all numbered, if you can see. So the A's are the top row. So A1 is the top left drawer. A1 so the walnut's on the left and the oak is on the right. The walnut is the front, the drawer face, and the oak is the drawer back. And then we have the bigger drawers are here, starting with row D and E. So I've got A, B, and C for the top three rows, which are smaller drawers for smaller slabs, and then I've got D and E for the larger slabs.
And what I can show you here is that we've keeping these all registered so that the grain will go together. You'll see that the grain in that fits A1 to A2. A3 continues, the grain goes right on through A4 and A5. So that when you stand back and look at this cabinet, you'll see the overall picture of this whole board, but it's cut up into individual drawers, still registered like they were, like God originally intended them to go together.
Very cool. So we've got our Omni jig here, which is helping us cut out our dovetail joints. So that's what we're going to get started working on now, and kind of get through that process.
This prototype seems to be, it'll be dry in a few minutes, so we'll see how good that joint comes out, and we'll put a bottom on it and square it up and see how we are doing.
Let's tell them what the slot's for.
The slot
we already pre-cut
is
everything.
going to be for a little thin piece of plywood that goes in that slot, and it will separate it'll bisect the drawer. Yeah, there'll be a column here and a column here of small cards, another column of small cards, around somewhere, depending on the thickness of the slab, somewhere around 100 or down.
80 to 100 probably per row, right? Or
yes.
per box?
Per row.
Right, so it's gonna hold a lot.
There's 15 of these boxes, so 3,000 cards there if they each hold 100 in each column.
Yep.
Yeah.
Plus we got all the big drawers too, 4 big
Yeah.
drawers. So that's kind of where we're at. thanks for watching, and we'll keep you updated on our progress. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that part of it. Now I'm going to show you guys this prototype of a drawer that we finished. And again, this is just a prototype. It doesn't have any polyurethane on it or anything else that we're going to do to make them really pop and stand out, but it does give you an idea of the structure and how it's going to work. So before I show you that, I just want to tell you how much I'm enjoying just hanging out with my dad and to be able to do this with him. He's very brilliant in terms of woodworking and has really taught me a lot over the years, and I'm really just enjoying spending time with him, and it's kind of the best part. Every time I'll look at this case as I grow older, I'll think of that time with my dad and doing this with him. So with that being said, here's what the prototype drawer looks like. I'm going to kind of have to get back and try to show you guys this because it's really large. It ends up being about 22 inches long. So here's the length of the drawer. If you can't hear me, I'm going to try to sit like this. So the front of the drawer is going to be walnut. And what I'll have is a handle here, and then one of the little, it's like a library card for a drawer at the top that I can label each drawer, and so I know what's in each drawer, what slabs are in it. Again, the front's walnut, the sides are Baltic birch, as is the bottom, and the back is oak. So this is a really heavy drawer. It's very heavy duty. It's going to last a long time. Notice we're going to dovetail all the joints, so it's going to look really gorgeous and never come apart. So that's glued and dovetail jointed. The bottoms are glued on and nailed on with little brads. So inside though, oh, I got slabs flying everywhere. I'll take these out real quick so they're not making a lot of noise. The inside of the drawer is, we basically cut slots up at the top and at the bottom so that we can fit a piece of material in here that's a divider. It's removable, so I can take it out whenever I want to, but that'll be, each column, as you can see, will be completely full. I'll have foam inserts that I can put in if I don't have a full row, so that I can hold the cards in place and they're not sliding all over the place. What I have learned, and what we did on purpose to make the dimensions work, is I can't have a normal plastic sleeve on the slab. Each slab fits in. That's not perfect, but you get the idea that each slab will go in, but I won't be able to have the full plastic sleeve on it. I'll have to have perfect fit sleeves, which just means I have to go buy a bunch of perfect fit sleeves, which is fine. And then they're going to fit. Each row is going to hold 80 to 85 slabs, which is just awesome. I'm going to have 15 of the small slab box drawers and 8 of the other ones. So again, this is just part one. I'm going to be doing some other parts in the future as we work through this project. So I really appreciate you guys watching and hope you enjoy this process as we go through this and this journey together. Thanks for watching. Bye.